Hello, my name is Logan, and I'm a part of the Atlanta Urban Debate League. And today we'll be talking about the pharmaceutical disadvantage that's found in the new Genetics App update. Today we'll be talking specifically about the first negative constructive and showing you how to use the disadvantage in round. Before starting, I want to make sure everyone is clear with what a disadvantage means in a debate round. So a disadvantage has four parts. The first is uniqueness, where the negative will say that there's something that good that's happening right now in the status quo, but that can take a turn for the worse or decline if something happens. The link specifically tells us what that thing that must happen is. And most often, it'll be something that the plan changes that will cause that undesirable thing to happen. The internal link and the impact, right, can be thought as both the explanation of the extra steps that end up to the impact and why that impact itself is a bad thing that might happen. Some key concepts for us to understand the pharmaceutical disadvantage are innovation, which just means the practical implementation of new ideas that creates new products and services, or improves some kind of product or service. Gene patents are a government-granted exclusive right to a specific DNA sequence or gene. And so we can think about not only does that allow for a company or a team to have a certain patent, but they could also decide who and who is not allowed to use that patent. The Myriad case, I think, is really important for us to look at because it was made in 2013 and it ruled that isolated human genes cannot be patented. And that's really important because that will set the legal precedent or set the standard that all laws or all interpretations of law have to follow. It sets that human genes cannot be patented, which is interesting when considering that the affirmative, right, wants to extend intellectual property rights to cover the human body. So let's look into how the pharmaceutical DA functions. The first, like we said, is uniqueness, right? What is good right now? Well, according to Delfino 23, it says that medical innovation is very high right now. And it looks at, and it makes this claim by looking at treatments for drugs, medical devices, and other forms of investment that are very high and leading to a lot of groundbreaking discoveries. And so the author shows that right now the US is the global leader of medical innovation and investment. The second part of the DA is the link, right? This is, like we said, what the plan does that causes the good thing, medical innovation being high, to stop happening. In this card, it says that the medical companies will be required to obtain licenses for every gene patent they use, which makes their research very expensive. Volk 23 specifically talks about how this will harm the ability for researchers to conduct research, which might affect pandemic response rates, which are needed right now. Finally, we can see why that's a bad thing, right? Through the Diamandis 21 card. It says that pandemics risk extinction, and our effective response is key to preventing that extinction from happening. So it says that the author discusses how we need to have proper pandemic response, and that because of the plan, if we get rid of that response, then it might risk total global extinction. And so when you're arguing for this inside of a debate round, you want to make sure that we're emphasizing that the impact of this DA is extinction because the plan will make it so that researchers can no longer innovate due to the high cost of getting a gene patent. And that is basically a summary of the pharmaceutical DA, and I hope that helps. Thank you.